Hello heroes, Joe Smith here, and just sitting here watching it rain. Nice cool morning. But reason why I want to talk to you guys this morning here, we got a goddamn pandemic. Pardon my language here, but we got a pandemic on our hands. I'm not talking about that. Not talking about that thing from China either. We got a problem here in America. Um, and not just all the shootings and stabbings and stuff that's been going on, but uh, carjackings and thefts and robberies are up. Like there's been a baseball card shop in both Kentucky and Tennessee. Don't think they're related. In the past 2 days here, they've been robbed. Thefts here locally. Been hearing more stuff getting stolen around the area here. Uh, Luckily, there's no shootings around here, at least. But then carjackings in a lot of cities nationwide are skyrocketing, like up either anywhere from double to 5 or 6 times as much. Like Minneapolis, or I think they're like 5 times as high as they were this time last year. And Washington D.C., the first 4 months of last year, January through April, they had like 60 to 70, something like that, carjackings in Washington, D.C., and now in the first 4 months of this year, they've had 207. And at least in, well, most of the country, it's the same people doing it. In Washington, D.C., they've made a bunch of arrests, and you know who's stealing these cars, and a lot of these people, they're taking them at gunpoint. They're not just like breaking into cars and hotwiring them. They're actually walking up to people, putting their groceries in the car, and putting a gun in their face, demanding keys to the car. Or even in these people's driveways at home, they're carjacking them at gunpoint. And you know who these people are? They're carjacking people at gunpoint. They're teenagers. They're like kids as young as 12 are putting guns in people's faces to steal their car, just to go for like a 30-minute or hour joyride or something until they crash it, or cops find them and pull them over for reckless driving or something, or run out of gas, or just decide to ditch it and run or something. It's like, what the hell's going on? How come we got all these teenagers out here robbing these places and carjacking people at gunpoint? And I mean, Joe Smith's just done a story the other day about 3 teenagers. Well, one's 18 and an adult now, but still kind of a teenager. And then 2 underage teenagers that kidnapped and murdered that 15-year-old black girl whose dad was activist or that. It's like, and there's like other kids being killed by teenagers, shot by teenagers, stabbed by teenagers. Like McKay Bryan, teenager, running around with a knife trying to stab people. What's wrong with all these teenagers? It's not just black people, it's some white people too. It's like, what the hell's going on with teenagers nowadays? You know, back when Joe Smith was a teenager, he didn't dare steal a candy bar from the store because Dad would beat him silly. Dad would beat me silly for stealing a candy bar. And then he would hand me over to the police. Or made me work a week or a day at the store to pay for the candy bar or something. So the thought of like stealing a car at gunpoint sure as hell never crossed my mind. But damn, what's going on with these teenagers nowadays? And even kids 12 or 11 that aren't even teenagers yet are involved with this stuff. Like forget where it was, Minnesota or Chicago, or yeah, Chicago, I think it was. The one there, microphones that detect gunfire. Cops show up and they chase this teenager down an alleyway that had a gun, and then uh, right after cops caught up with him and told him to put his hands up, he threw the gun, but the cops, I guess, maybe seen him raise the gun, like didn't realize he's going to throw it, or thought maybe he's going to try and shoot at the officer, so shot at him, or don't know exactly what happened. I mean, it's dark, it's middle of the night, 2, 3 in the morning, dark alleyway, no lights, uh, cops responding to gunfire, chasing a guy with a gun, sees a gun, shoots. I mean, people are like, well, why didn't the cop just fire some warning shots in the air? Or why didn't the cop try and shoot the gun out of the kid's hand? Or it's like, well, these cops aren't sharpshooters. And what if that warning shot causes damage or comes down and hits someone? Like, cops just a couple of days ago were seen on YouTube yesterday. Mom called the police, and the police showed up and went into the apartment in the kid's bedroom, and the kid was in his bed, and then pulled a gun out from underneath the blanket, and the cops shot him and killed him. It's like, well, it ain't like the cops can shoot a couple of warning shots in the air. They'll go through the ceiling and the floor above and into a kid sleeping in bed or something. Then what? It's like, or what if you aim for the arm or leg and miss, and then McKay Bryant slashes a girl's throat and kills her? Like, just like when you do your gun training or range training or CCW, you're taught to aim center mass. Police are taught to aim center mass to reduce chances of missing, reduce chances of ricochet and hurting someone else, reduce chances of missing, and then the perpetrator kills you or someone else. So, I mean, Joe Smith, you ain't the biggest fan of the police from issues with them in the past, but at the same time, they're doing, most of them at least, are trying to handle these situations best they can and really don't want to have to shoot someone, but, you know, all these people keep grabbing for knives and guns and pointing them at the police. It's like, well, you point a gun at someone, you just signed away your rights. Expect to get shot back. Don't care who you are. Don't care if man, woman, white, black, pink, purple, orange, yellow, brown. Point a gun or a knife at a cop, you're probably going to get shot. And that's one of the first things that Joe Smith's dad taught him as a kid. It's like, better not ever find out that you better never be out pointing a gun or a knife at anyone, or especially a cop, because you'll probably get shot. Like, is that too hard to teach kids nowadays? Can't teach a teenager not to point guns at police. I mean, if they're that stupid, then they're definitely not worth no $15 an hour minimum wage. That's for damn sure. It's like, past 20 years, it's like things just progressively got worse, and then especially when Obama took office, it's like things just skyrocketed then. And I guess after Democrats said it's okay to burn, loot, and murder last year, you know, everyone's doing it even more this year. Ted Wheeler in Oregon let all his zombie robots run wild to overthrow democracy and influence the election, but now that's over, they won't stop, and he can't get them stopped, so now he's crying for help. It's like, well, yeah, you got what you wanted out of them, now you want us to help you stop them from destroying you. It's like, they destroy the rest of the country, might as well let them destroy you now. But heroes, what are we going to have to do about this pandemic of teenagers, out-of-control teenagers? We don't need gun control, we need teenager control. You know, just on the news a couple of days ago, it's a school in Florida. The principal, I guess the principal was a woman and a black woman, and this child was black that was in trouble, and the principal paddled the child, or like paddling elementary students or spanking them is still legal in several states, including Florida. However, that county issued a separate county ordinance where it was illegal, so they're probably going to fire that principal or charges against her or something. But you know, back in the day, that's what happened. You got in trouble in school, you got sent to the principal, you got paddled. And guess what? You grew up to be a doctor or lawyer or pilot, or to go in the military, or auto mechanic or CEO or business owner or something. You didn't grow up to be a school shooter. It's like when they stopped the paddling, it's when all the school shootings started. It's like when parents stopped spanking kids at home, that's when all the burning and looting and robberies and armed carjackings start taking place by teenagers. Well, any thoughts, opinions, suggestions on what needs to be done to deal with this problem? Comment below, please. Um, like, subscribe, share, ring the bell if you want. Don't have to. Just thanks for watching Joe Smith's videos. Just watch the topics or ones that you like. Thanks for watching. Everyone have a good day. Joe Smith signing out.